Hey team, Patrick here. In this lesson, we're going to look at the 3 ways you can time your contact in tennis. If you play the ball on the rise, at the top, at the apex, or on the drop, on its way back down. Now, in a match, you'll have to use a combination of all of these methods, but we're going to look at what may be best depending on the situation, your level, and even your game style. So, let's get into it. Firstly, whatever timing we use, we want to play the ball at the optimum contact point, somewhere between our waist and our shoulder, as this is where the majority of players are going to be most comfortable. For club players, it may be more around waist height, especially on the backhand, and the pros may be able to play from a slightly higher contact point because they've been doing this all their life and they have the strength and the coordination to do so. I think we can all agree we don't want to be playing balls up here, over our head, from the baseline. So we can take the ball on the rise as it's going up into this zone before it gets too high. We can take the ball at the top if we have the option to do so. Or we can step back and play the ball as it begins to drop. But don't get caught out being rushed up here or leaning back, as we can only play a very high defensive loopy ball and can't take a full swing, take an extra step or steps back where you can still rip it. Now, every ball will bounce, rise up, reach its apex, and then fall. And the advantage to stepping in and taking the ball on the rise is you're taking time away from your opponent. So you can be more offensive with your shot without hitting the ball harder, as you're not giving up this court space, and so you can be more aggressive with your positioning. The disadvantage to this shot is you're taking time away from yourself. The ball still has a lot of energy. It's traveling very quickly through this waist to shoulder zone, so the timing is more difficult and you have to be very precise. I'm going to put hitting the ball at the top of the bounce into a similar category as hitting the ball on the rise, even though the timing is different and obviously we're hitting the ball slightly later, we're still being offensive. The advantage to this shot is we're hitting the ball at its slowest point. It's not going up or down. We can flatten the shot out as we're hitting more above the height of the net, but we're still within our strike zone. Now, depending on the ball, this may be easier for taller players, but more difficult for shorter players or juniors. I would say playing the ball as it begins to drop is the easiest and safest method of timing. It gives us more time to read the ball and get into position. And for players at any level, the more time we have, the better. The ball is still traveling slowly, so we can take a full rip at it back. The disadvantage of playing the ball as it begins to drop is it gives your opponent time to recover their court position. You're not going to be able to play as attacking a shot. You're going to have to play with more height and shape from this deeper, more defensive court position. The ball is very deep with a lot of top spin. or maybe very deep and flat with a lot of penetration through the court, you'll be forced to take the ball more on the rise. You often see this in pro matches, unless it's maybe on a slower clay court, so it depends on the ball. But at the recreational level, this isn't as common, and you should have more time to step back. It also depends what type of player you are. Are you comfortable playing on top of the baseline? Do you have shorter, more compact strokes or longer strokes? I do a drill where players have to call out up, back, or hold. Do you have to move up inside the court? Are you going to go back behind the baseline? Or are you going to hold your position on the baseline to play the shot? Not only is this a good awareness exercise that helps improve your concentration as you play, it also brings out what I call your tennis personality and how you interpret a shot. As a ball that lands here, deep to the baseline, a player like Nadal might go back, let the ball drop and hit higher, where a player like Federer or Agassi might play that same ball on the rise or at the top and hold their position on the baseline. I'm probably more like Rafa in my game, which is probably the only thing I can say that our tennis has in common. I've done this exercise before where players have to call out short, middle, or long in terms of where the ball lands, but I prefer to call out where we have to move to play the ball from on the court, as to me this is more relevant information than just where the ball lands. Right team, hope this gives you something to think about the next time you're on the court. And I will cover the more technical aspects of footwork and the differences in stroke production between playing a ball on the rise, at the top, or on the drop in a future video. But if this video has helped, then please leave it a like and a comment down below and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on court in the next one. Cheers guys.